Already today's series challenge the Blacksite Loud, no Aegis Armor, Mandatory Headshots, and Armera Arsenal. It's Armera Arsenal, but we've got breaching charges, which is always nice. But we don't actually have a CHA for Mandatory Headshots, which is a bit unfortunate, but it's alright because it's not Shoot Swarm. Which is great and all because we can just fire any amount of bullets and it will probably work. But regardless, we're gonna just leave that Saw Blades at the back since we're gonna move really slowly with it. And then we're just gonna start moving really quickly, which... Hi there, you. Kindly just... Never mind then. Well, I mean... It is mandatory headshots, which we're gonna try our best to not miss since that's relatively important over here. Hi there, Juggernaut. And then we're just going to, well, flank around. But then finally, there's no Aegis Armor, which really doesn't matter all that much, but... Now that that's settled, hopefully... No, the shotgunners are not gonna move all the way in there, that's suboptimal. But then we could always just go through here instead, which I suppose could work out just fine. I mean, we've tanked a bit of damage, tanked a bit of health, and, well, we're doing perfectly fine so far. So we're just gonna go over here. We're gonna place a breach charge over here, and we're just going to heal up right now whilst we wait for Cyber, and then we're gonna breach it, and then we're just going to move. I mean, it's not all that complicated, except that we kind of only have a saw blade right now, which hopefully we won't run out of ammo on before we actually get the door open, since that's quite important for not dying. But for now, Cyber's going to give me a medkit, sure, right then. And then afterwards, grab a drill, get doors open, and then afterwards we'll see which one Rose is inside, which is relatively simple. Get it open, go inside, get a cell open, and things should all go perfectly fine. I mean, hopefully it's not going to be in cell A or cell B, since it is still no Aegis Armor, which means that we don't have Aegis Armor, but I suppose that can work out just fine. We're going to go in here. Unfortunately, we couldn't just snipe that guard, which is only a slight shame. Hi there, folks. So, now that there's a medkit over there, which Cyber might want to get. Alright, might not want to get because of those CBRCs. Hopefully, things go well from here on out, which it, once again, really should. But... Hi there. But now that presumably Cyber's gonna move over there, which... You know, just saying, would ideally happen quite soon. Maybe you don't do that. That might actually have been a really bad idea, but... Nonetheless... Just... Sure, right then, I suppose that works out. We could just leave that saw blade inside for a bit longer before just going through here and getting out of here. And then not meeting the CBRCs because the CBRCs are absolutely terrifying. There's not really a different way of putting it, they're just terrifying, really. They're CBRCs, they do a lot of damage and they can aim relatively well, which are all not good traits for trying to not get shot by them, but nonetheless, we could grab a saw blade out right now, and then afterwards we could just work with it. Provided that units actually show up, which will hopefully happen quite soon. And of course, we're starting with the CBRCs, which is just great. As long as we don't miss our shots, which is also just great, but nonetheless, we could just do that, and well, I suppose it'll work out relatively fine. So, sure. Hi there. Ideally, we still don't die, which seems quite high on our priority list, which is why we're just going to keep to the whole not dying thing, which we'll hopefully abide by. But for now, hi there. Let's just take care of the units that show up. Maybe feel ambitious enough to grab an Fi7 if you hop down over here, which, I mean, right now seems like a great time to go over there. Never mind, it is not. I see both squads, and I am not very intent on fighting either of them. So we're just going to not fight either of them. And ideally we still try not to die, since that's kind of how this works. And at this point, I should probably heal up. Grab that breaching charge, and then afterwards just leave it over there, which there are mechits slowly accumulating over there, which are very, very much appealing to get right now, since they're mechits, and there's presumably at least one Fi7 over there, which there is. So just gonna run over there. We're gonna grab the Fi7, we're gonna grab the mechits, then we're gonna go back through here before the units hop down, which... Now that that's resolved, no, you're not doing that. That's just not how this works. And now that that's resolved, we're just gonna heal up. And then clear the units over there. Which are so far relatively simple tasks. And well, seemingly I think there's another mechit up over there, which I suppose we could go and grab later on. Hi there, shotgunners. It's nice to meet all of you. I mean, not really. They are shotgunners and they are terrifying, but I suppose it works out just fine. We're gonna drop the saw blade, we're gonna grab some ammunition, then we're just gonna, well, take care of the units, which... Hi there. A bit of a surprise over there, but you know what? It's alright. We can just go through here now. Go through here, and then hopefully not encounter any units, which may or may not happen, but so far, there are units all the way down over there, but you know what? That's alright. We can just breach in over here, go over here, grab the demolition charge and not a bag, and then afterwards, well, we've got some suppressed Fi7s, which could be nice. I mean, it'll be softer, and that's really about it for now, but maybe let's not waste our health on those CBRCs, but I suppose things are still gonna work out relatively fine so far, but I do indeed want that mechit, and unfortunately, the other one's inside the spawn, so we can't exactly obtain it, but I suppose it's alright, we just have to... That is Cyber's Shadow and not some random unit, which... I must say it's a relatively good thing, but there are those CBRC units which are still absolutely terrifying, but we don't have to care about them much, and we can just go in here. Hi there to the units on the ground over there shooting at Cyber climbing a ladder, but nonetheless, we're gonna plant it over here. And then, well, maybe there's gonna be the mechit from earlier, which there is one. But there are also units climbing the ladder over there, which I can most definitely see, which almost certainly want me dead, but in that case, we can just wait over here, and it'll go just fine, which... I mean, that's kind of how this ideally... Hi there to the Juggernaut. Nice to meet you and all, but could you just... There we go. And out of that... Never mind, let's back off. That seems like a relatively good plan right now. But hopefully... Alright, now that extremely long and absurd 1v1 between Rose and the Juggernaut are over as a result of Cyber's intervention, presumably, all will go well from here on out. And apparently I have 3 mechas to my name now because, well, I got them for free. But I mean, sure. We could always throw a few bullets over there, and then afterwards, avoid the shotgunners, which seems like a relatively important priority, but we could always go over here right now, which... There is a mechit, but there are those units, which we would want to encounter far less, but there is that mechit over there, which we... Those are CBRCs, and I do not want to meet those CBRCs, but... That's brave. Right then, let's try and make sure Cyber doesn't die to those. But for now... You did not just do that. Right then. Let's reload. Cyber's gonna finally... Going to finally grab that. We're gonna have them shoot Rose instead. And then we can just go through here, get out of here, and well, that's the daily challenge in just under 9 minutes and 30 seconds. Cheers everyone, have a great time!